Hello friends, welcome to bioassembly. In this session I will discuss about plastid and their types. Let's start the session. First of all, plastid. Plastids are readily distinguished from animal cell by the presence of two types of bounded membrane vacuoles and plastid. First of all, plastid was introduced by E. Haeckel in 1866. Plastid are semi-autonomous organelles having DNA and double membrane envelope which store or synthesize various type of organic compound. Plastids are in the form of proplastid. Proplastid have ability to divide and differentiate into various type of plastid. These are chromoplastid, chloroplastid and leucoplastid. When proplastids differentiate into various type of plastid, chromoplastid, chloroplastid and leucoplastid. And leucoplastids further divide into amyloplast, epiloplast and proteinoplast. Type of plastid. The term plastid is derived from Greek word plastikas, formed for medule. It means formed or meduled and was used by AFW Simfer in 1885. Simfer classified the plastid into following types according to their structure, pigment and function. You can see that the structure chromoplast contain red and orange pigment, so it is called chromo means color, so it is called chromoplast. You can see the chloroplast contain green thylakoids like structure and greenish because chlorophyll present inside the chloroplast, so it is called chloroplast. Chloros means grass or plastos means moduled. And this is leucoplast. Colorless plastid means leucos means white and plastos means module. You can see that structure leucoplast do not contain any type of color, so this is called leucoplast. First of all, leucoplast. The leucoplast, leucos means white and plast means living, are colorless plastids which are found in embryonic and germ cell. They are found in meristematic cells and in those regions of the plants which do not have effective receive light. Means leucoplasts are present in those regions of the plant they do not receive light. Plastid located in the cotyledons of primordium of the stem of or color are colorless. When plastids are located in cotyledons or primordium of stem, so they develop colorless plastid, but eventually become filled with chlorophyll and transform into chloroplast. When leucoplast filled with chlorophyll, then it transform into the chloroplast. True leucoplasts occur in fully differentiated cells such as epidermal and internal plant tissue. True leucoplasts do not contain thylakoid and even ribosome. Means true leucoplasts do not contain any type of thylakoid and ribosome. And they store the food material as carbohydrate, lipid and protein. Accordingly are as following. Amyloplast, amyloplast means amylo means starch and plast means living, are those leucoplasts which synthesis and store the starch. Amyloplasts occur in those cells which store starch. Amylos matlab meaning is starch and it occur in those cells which store starch. The outer membrane of the amyloplast encloses the stroma and contain one of the 8 starch granules. Starch granules of amyloplasts are typically composed of concentric layer of starch. Second, elioplast. Elioplast store lipid oils and occur in seed of monocotyledons and dicotyledons. And they also include sterol rich stenocoplast. Elioplast occur in seeds of monocotyledons and dicotyledons, and they store starch, stereostarch or sternochloroplast. Third is Proteinoplasm. The proteinoplasm are the protein storing plastid. You see this name proteinoplasm come from protein, and so it store protein storing plastid which mostly occur in seed and contain few thylakoids. This all about leucoplast. Second, chromoplast. The chromoplast are the colored plastids containing carotenoids and other pigment. Chromo means color and plast means living. They impart color yellow, orange and red to certain portion of plant such as flower petals and fruits and some roots. Some roots like carrot, fruits like tomatoes and flowers like daffodils, rose, etc. Chromoplast structure is quite diverse. They may be round, ellipsoidal, or even needle shaped, and the carotenoid they contain may be localized in droplets or in crystalline structure. Means they present in droplets or in crystalline structure or needle shaped. In general, chromoplasts have a reduced chlorophyll contain are thus less active in photosynthesis. Means chromoplast contain less number of chlorophyll, so it less active in photosynthetically active. The red color or ripe tomato in the result of chromoplast. You can see the color of tomato is red due to chromoplast present in the pigment. The red pigment leucopene, which is member of carotenoid family. Chromoplast of blue-green algae or cyanobacteria contain various pigments such as phycoerythrin, phycocyanin, chlorophyll A, and carotenoids. Chromoplast are following two types: pheoplast and rhodoplast. The pheo means dark or brown, plast means living, means it contains the pigment fuchsoxanthin which absorb the light, and pheoplast occur in diatoms, dinoflagellates and brown algae. These pheoplast occur mostly in algae. The rhodoplast means rhodo means red and plast means living. It contains pigment like pheoerythrin which absorb the light, and rhodoplast occur in red algae. This all about chromoplast. Third, chloroplast. The chloroplast, chloro means green and plast means living, is most widely occurring chromoplast of the plants. Means chloroplast present in highly number of chloroplast present in the plants. It occur mostly in green algae and higher plants. Means chloroplast name suggests chloro means green, so it occur mostly in green algae or higher plants. The chloroplast contain the pigment chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B and DNA and RNA. Chloroplasts were discovered early in 17th century by Nehemiah Grew and Anotia van Leeuwenhoek. Distribution. The chloroplast remain distributed homogeneously in the cytoplasm of the plant cell, but in certain cell the chloroplast become concentrated around the nucleus, just beneath of the plasma membrane. The chloroplast have defined oriented in the cell cytoplasm. Chloroplasts are motile organelles and so passive and active movements. Means chloroplasts distribute homogeneously in cytoplasm of the plant cell, and most of the chloroplast concentrated inside around the nucleus and the benthoplasma membrane. Chloroplasts have defined orientation in the cell cytoplasm, and chloroplasts are motile and so passive and active movement. This all about the leaf, the chloroplast structure. These are the lower epidermis and upper epidermis. These are the structure of leaf. When you cut this section, then you and see in the microscope, and this you can see that the upper epidermis present upside, and these are lower epidermis. When and this and here the chloroplast are present. When you when when you magnify this, then chloroplast, you can see the structure of chloroplast. These are the stroma present inside the chloroplast and the grana, and these are thylakoid membrane. When the thylakoid membrane and these are inner membrane of the chloroplast, these are outer membrane of the chloroplast, having 2 micrometer in the diameter. These are grana, or these are thylakoid membrane. You can see there's a thylakoid membrane. Inside the thylakoid, this green structure is called thylakoid space. And when we magnify the grana, then this structure is so is this like, and the fluid part present in the chloroplast is stroma, and all the grana is attached with the thylakoid membrane. Morphological shape of chloroplast. Shape. Higher plant chloroplasts are generally biconvex and plano-convex. Means higher plants generally chloroplast shape is biconvex and plano-convex. However, in different plant cell, chloroplast may have various shape: filamentous, square-shaped, spheroid, ovoid, discoid, and club-shaped. They are vascular and have colorless center. When we talk about the size of the size of the chloroplast vary from species to species, and they generally measure 2 to 3 micrometer in thickness and 5 to 10 micrometer in diameter. For example, Clindomonas, which have 5 to 10 micrometer diameter. The chloroplast of polyploid plant cell are comparatively larger than those of the diploid counterparts. Generally, chloroplast of the plant grown in the shade are larger and contain more chlorophyll than those plants grown in sunlight. Means chloroplast plants grown in shade. When chloroplast plants grown in shade, they contain larger number of chlorophyll than those plants which grown in sunlight. Next, we talk about the number of the plastid. Number of the chloroplast vary from cell to cell and from species to species, and it is related with physiological state of the cell, but it usually remains constant for the particular plant cell. Algae usually have single use chloroplast, mean algae contains single chloroplast. The cell of the higher plants have 20 to 40 chloroplast, and higher plants may contain 20 to 40 chloroplast. The chloroplasts are composed of carbohydrate, lipid, protein, chlorophyll, carotenoid. Carotenoid is two type: carotenoid and xanthophyll, DNA, RNA, and certain enzyme and coenzyme. Chloroplast contain separate DNA like mitochondria which contain DNA. The chloroplast also contains some metallic atom like iron, copper, magnesium, zinc. Chloroplasts have very low percentage of carbohydrate, and they contain 20 to 30% lipid, and the protein constitution about 35 to 55% of the chloroplast. Chlorophyll is the green pigment of the chloroplast. Means when we talk about the percentage of carbohydrate, it is very low, and lipid about 20 to 30%, and protein about 35 to 55%. When and chlorophyll is green pigment contain is called in the chloroplast. Chlorophyll is the green pigment. It is an asymmetrical molecule which has hydrophilic head and 4 ring of pyrrole and hydrophobic tail. Means chlorophyll is a asymmetrical molecule, and which have hydrophilic head or four rings of pyrrole and hydrophobic tail of phytol. It consists of 75% of chlorophyll A and 25% of chlorophyll B. Means chloroplast contain 75% of chlorophyll A and 25% of chlorophyll B. This all about number of chloroplast. You can see that these are the structure of ultrastructure of chloroplast. These are the outer membrane, envelope is called chloroplast envelope, which have thickness of 100 to 90 to 100 angstrom, 90 to 100 angstrom, and it is trilaminar lipoprotein structure. And there are two membrane, inner membrane and outer membrane. And the intermembrane and a middle side of the membrane is called intermembrane space. Intermembrane space of 100 to 200 angstrom width, means intermembrane space is width of 100 to 200 angstrom. The outer membrane may attach to endoplasmic reticulum. This outer membrane, this attached to endoplasmic reticulum, and the at a place of inner membrane it contains thylakoid, and the inner membrane contain thylakoids. You can see that structure, thylakoid space and thylakoid membrane. Inner membrane contain thylakoid. When we talk about matrix inside the chloroplast, the chloroplast matrix is called stroma. Stroma is the matrix inside the present in the chloroplast. It is semi-fluid. This stroma is semi-fluid and colloidal complex that is made up of 50% of soluble protein. And the stroma, and the inside the stroma is contain DNA molecule, RNA, ribosome, and plastoglobule and enzyme. This all about the structure of chloroplast. You can see that and these are the grana. This all grana is like this type of structure, and this is chloroplast ribosome are 70S type. Ribosome are present in the chloroplast at 70S, and with the help of ribosome, the chloroplast able to synthesize most enzyme required by it. Means ribosome help to synthesis most enzyme. The important enzyme present in the chloroplast take in part in synthesis photosynthetic pigment like photolysis of water and phosphorylation and dark assimilation. This all about the structure of chloroplast. When we talk about ultrastructure envelope, the entire chloroplast is bounded by double unit membrane. Across this double membrane envelope occur exchange of molecules between chloroplast and cytosol. Isolated membrane of envelope chloroplast lack chlorophyll pigment. Men's envelope do not contain chlorophyll pigment and cytochromes, and but have yellow color due to the presence of a small amount of carotenoid. Envelope is yellow color due to a small amount of carotenoids, and they contain 1 to 2% of total protein of chloroplast. Stroma. Second stroma. The matrix of stroma fills most of the volume of the chloroplast. Means most volume is filled by matrix of the chloroplast, and it kind of gel fluid phase that surrounded the thylakoid grana. It contain about 50% of the protein and chloroplast, most of which soluble type. Most of the proteins are soluble type, and stroma also contain ribosome, DNA molecule, both of which are involved in synthesis of some structural protein of the chloroplast. Means ribosome and DNA help to synthesis of structural protein of the chloroplast. The stroma is the place of where CO2 fixation occur, where the synthesis of sugar, fatty acid, starch and some protein takes place. Means stroma help to fixation of CO2, and here is the site where the synthesis of sugar, fatty acid, starch and some protein takes place. Third, thylakoid. The thylakoid means sac-like consisting structure, flattened to close vesicle arranged as a membrane network. The outer surface of thylakoid is connected with stroma, and its inner surface is enclosed by intrathylakoid space. And thylakoid get stalled forming grana, and they are 40 to 80 grana in matrix of the chloroplast. Means 40 to 80 grana in the matrix of chloroplast. The number of thylakoid or grana may vary from 1 to 50 or more. For example, there may be single thylakoid in red algae and paired thylakoid in chrysophyta, triple thylakoid and multiple thylakoid in green algae and higher plants. Like mitochondria, chloroplasts have their own DNA, RNA, and protein synthetic machinery and are semi-autonomous in nature. Chloroplasts are largest and most prominent organelle. Means like mitochondria, it also have the own DNA, RNA, and protein synthetic machinery. And chloroplast and mitochondria have other feature in common. Both of migrate from place to place within the cell. Means it migrate from place to place within the cell, and they contain their own DNA which encodes and key organelle and protein. Most of the protein each organelle have encoded by nuclear DNA and synthesized in the cytosol. Protein encoded by the mitochondrial chloroplast DNA is synthesized on ribosome within the organelles. This all about the thylakoids. When when we talk about the function of chloroplast, first of all, it takes place in the photosynthetic. Chloroplasts are the center of photosynthesis or formation of organic compound from organic raw material. The organic substance provided body building material and autotrophic plants themselves, but heterotrophic plant as well as animal. Second function is energy transduction, means chloroplasts are able to trap sun energy and change into chemical energy. Third function is consumption of carbon dioxide. Chloroplasts pick up carbon dioxide and use same in photosynthesis, and it keep percentage of gas balance in the atmosphere as carbon. And next function is the storage of starch. They store starch either temporarily or permanently in several algae. Next is photosensitivity. Chloroplast of some algae provide photosensitivity because of the presence of stigma or eye spot. Next is synthesis of fatty acid and storage of lipid and formation of chloroplast. This all about the function of chloroplast. I'll repeat. First of all, photosynthetic activity help in chloroplast help in photosynthesis. Second, energy transaction. Third, consumption of carbohydrates and carbon dioxide. Consumption of carbon dioxide. Fourth, liberation of oxygen. Chloroplast liberate oxygen which passes into atmosphere. And fifth is storage of starch. And sixth is photosensitivity. Seventh is reducing power. And eighth is synthesis of fatty acid. And ninth, storage of lipid. And 10 is formation of chromoplast. This all about the function of chloroplast. So if you like this session, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.